A surprise gift from your past is returning, but so is the pain it holds. There's a moment in your path you were never prepared to face again. The energy has been building silently behind the scenes, drawing something back into your life, something that carries the scent of love and the shadow of betrayal. A forgotten chapter has cracked open, and the surprise it holds will change everything. The winds around your destiny have shifted. You may not see it, but someone from your past is walking closer to you with something you once held dear. It is wrapped in old memories and sealed with a truth you never got closure from. Archangel Michael says, "Be calm but alert, because what is returning is not just an object, but a buried emotion tied to your heart's most sacred space." This gift was once your treasure, then became a symbol of pain. It disappeared without explanation, but now it is on its way back with a different intention. It is not a mistake that you are reading this message now. The force that's pulling this gift back into your life has waited patiently for this divine moment. There is meaning in this return, and though it may bring tears, it also unlocks a new beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your soul knows who the giver is. They were once close, closer than blood, closer than breath. They left in silence, but they never truly let go. This gift was hidden in a drawer, inside a box, beneath the floorboard of a home that saw too much. It was touched with longing and sealed in guilt. And now, the same hands that once left it behind are bringing it back to you. There is a message written inside. It was never meant to be read until now. The timing was sacred, and now that time has arrived. Archangel Michael says, don't ignore the signs. The same fragrance, the same dreams, the same haunting tune, all these are whispers of what's coming. The past is making its way back not to break you again, but to test if you've grown strong enough to face it. Type Amen to get blessing 531. This gift was a symbol of innocence once, given with pure intentions. But life tangled that purity with heartbreak and confusion. And now that the dust has settled, you must decide if you'll accept it again, or reject the energy it brings. The person returning with it is unsure. They hold it with trembling hands. There's regret in their chest, and fear in their silence. They've spent nights rehearsing what to say. But even words won't be enough. Only the truth in their eyes can complete the circle that was left open years ago. The gift still holds the same light, but it's dimmed by what happened after. You may feel joy seeing it, but pain will be there too, waiting quietly behind the smile. Type Amen to get blessing 944. They remembered every detail of the day they gave it to you. The weather. Your smile. The look in your eyes. They were sure then. But time broke them in ways they didn't expect. What you don't know is, they tried to return many times before. But every time, something held them back. A new partner, a haunting doubt, or your name appearing in a place that reminded them they weren't ready. Now they are. Now they believe you deserve an answer. Even if it hurts, even if it shatters something between you forever. They carry more than the gift, they carry an apology buried under years of silence. And they hope that somehow, you will still listen, even if your heart wants to walk away. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The moment they place it in your hands again, time will freeze for you both. You will see their face like you did back then. Not older, not newer, but the same soul, cloaked in new emotions. The air will grow heavier. A chill may run through your spine. Because the memories you buried will come up, fast and loud. You'll remember the moments no one else saw. The whispers, the touch, the dreams you built together in secret. All of it will try to come alive again. But pain will be standing at the door, knocking at the same time. Asking if you've forgiven. Asking if you can ever love the same way again. Type Amen to get blessing 413. They know they hurt you. But they also know you hurt yourself by holding it in. This gift is more than an object, it's a key to closure, to letting go of the questions that kept haunting your nights. They'll sit across from you, eyes watering but trying to be brave. They'll talk, but their voice will crack. You will notice their heartbeat, even if they don't show it. The words will come slowly. Not dramatic. Just honest. And for the first time, they'll say, I never stopped thinking about that day. You may want to walk away. You may want to scream. But inside, there's something listening, something you never gave up on, even after all this time. Type Amen to get blessing 700. They'll ask you if you ever missed it. Not the gift, but the feeling. The way you once looked at them like they were home. They'll admit to dreaming of this moment. Over and over. Not knowing how it would end, but praying it would at least come. And now that it has, they are trembling. Because what they feared the most is now standing before them, your reaction. Archangel Michael says, don't judge too soon. This return isn't about rekindling something that's dead. It's about healing a space that never closed properly. Type Amen to get blessing 239. This surprise gift may confuse you. It may make your heart pound with questions and old flames. But listen, not every return is meant to bring you back. Some are meant to free you. They kept it safe all these years. Not because they couldn't throw it away, but because part of them still believed you would hold it again. Just once more. Now that it's here, you'll need strength. You'll need grace. Because emotions will flood you like a storm, beautiful, destructive, necessary. This is the storm before your healing. Don't run. Let the rain fall. Type Amen to get blessing 622. They'll ask nothing from you. They won't beg. They won't push. They only want to give you back what they once took away, your peace. This isn't a test of love. It's a test of courage. To look at pain and say, you don't own me anymore. You'll cry, maybe silently. Maybe you won't. But your soul will breathe. Something inside you will shift, like a door finally opening. Archangel Michael says, you are being set free, not from them, but from the chain that once tied you to silence. Type Amen to get blessing 111. They'll smile, and you'll know it's different now. The damage is done, the love has changed. But the truth has finally arrived. The moment they leave, the energy in your space will feel lighter. And the gift, no longer just an object, will begin its new meaning. You may keep it, or you may pass it on. But it will never again hold pain. Because you've faced what once held you captive. And that, child, is freedom. That is healing. That is divine timing. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Something in the air will remain with you. The closure will hum quietly through your being. And the past will no longer haunt, it will whisper only wisdom. Now, you walk with new eyes. Now, you see that not everything from the past should return. But some things do, just to show you how far you've come. The gift was not the point, it was the bridge. And now you've crossed it. Stronger. Wiser. Braver than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 535. This message was meant for you. Because something sacred is being closed. And something holy is opening. You didn't ask for this return, but now you understand why it happened. It was not to bring love back, but to bring you back to yourself. A surprise gift from your past is returning, but now, the pain it once carried has no power over you. Because you are ready. You are more than ready. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. The moment you placed the gift down, you noticed your hands were trembling. Not because of fear, but because your body recognized what your heart tried so long to forget. It was as if your soul had just met a memory face to face and didn't know how to say hello. You sat in silence, holding the weight of it, not just the object, but the moment. It felt heavier than before. Because now, it carried everything that happened in between its absence and its return. You looked around the room, and suddenly it felt smaller. Your breathing slowed, your thoughts raced. This wasn't just a visit from your past, it was a confrontation with what you never had the chance to finish. There are parts of you that still cry quietly inside. You hide it well, in smiles, in conversations, in distractions. But the truth is, this gift opened something buried, and it needs your attention. Type Amen to get blessing 606. They didn't say everything. There were still secrets they kept behind their voice. But you heard what they couldn't say, because your soul still remembers them in a way no one else does. This is the test you didn't know you were preparing for. You spent years building walls, and now, in a single hour, it all felt exposed again. But this time, you are different. You are no longer fragile. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer hoping for something that may never come back the way it left. Now, you're standing in the truth of your growth, and that is your shield. That is your power. That is your blessing. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You touched the gift once more, this time not with longing, but with strength. And something inside you whispered, I made it. I survived. The pain that once clung to this object now slipped from your fingers like mist. Their presence still lingers in your room, in your spirit. But it's different now. It doesn't haunt, it reminds. It reminds you of who you were, and who you've become. It reminds you of the love that turned into loss, and the silence that turned into wisdom. You didn't get the happy ending, but you got the truth, and sometimes that's more powerful. Archangel Michael says, do not dwell in the sorrow. You were never meant to stay there. You were meant to rise, and this gift was your final push. Type Amen to get blessing 882. The next morning, everything felt different. The sky looked clearer, your breath came easier. You had cried the final tears that needed to fall, and they didn't weaken you, they cleansed you. You placed the gift in a drawer, not to forget it, but to honor it. It no longer needed to be in your hands. Its purpose had been served. You realized something else, this entire return was not about them. It was about you. Your journey, your healing, your divine strength. And that realization, that was the real gift. Type Amen to get blessing 707. There will be moments ahead where you may remember them. A song, a scent, a place. But those memories will no longer feel like cuts. They will feel like bookmarks, proof that you once felt deeply, and healed anyway. The person who brought the gift back may leave again. They may never return. But that no longer controls you. Their actions have no more power over your peace. The healing has begun, and there is no turning back. You have walked through the storm and come out soaked, but standing. Now, you can begin again, not in fear, but in full awareness of your worth. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The story they brought back with them no longer belongs to your present. It is part of your past, and you now know how to honor that place without living in it. There is still a flicker of sadness. That's normal. It's human. But sadness doesn't own you anymore. You've reclaimed your life. The gift now sits where it belongs, not on a pedestal, not in the trash, but in the quiet space where endings become new beginnings. This was divine timing. This was destiny clearing space for your joy to expand. This was the sacred closure you didn't even know you needed. Type Amen to get blessing 322. Archangel Michael says, "You were chosen to endure, not to suffer, but to become light for others." Now that your scars have healed, your story becomes someone else's survival. Don't close your heart again. Let it remain open, not for them, but for yourself. Because you deserve to love without the fear of history repeating itself. And it won't. Because this time, you know what to allow and what to let go. This gift did not return to take something from you, it came back to return something you lost: your voice, your power, your peace. Type Amen to get blessing 373. Tonight, sleep without regret. You faced what most cannot. You didn't run from the pain, you listened, you felt, and you released. A surprise gift from your past returned, but it couldn't break you this time. And that is how you know, you are no longer the same. You are not fragile. You are not waiting. You are not broken. You are whole. You are divine. You are free. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. You stood by the window the next day, the light touching your skin just right, and for the first time in a long while, you felt peace. Not the kind that needs explanation. The kind that silently fills a room after you finally let go of what tried to destroy you. The gift may still be there, tucked away in the drawer or lying silently on your table. But now, it no longer pulls at you. It no longer whispers confusion into your spirit. It just exists, like a photograph in a book you no longer need to reopen. You've outgrown the version of you that once clung to this memory. The love, the heartbreak, the longing, they were all chapters you completed without realizing it. Now, you walk with wisdom written in your every step. People may ask what changed. They may see it in your eyes, in your tone, in your quiet smile. But they won't understand unless they've ever had to return something to the past without bitterness. Type Amen to get blessing 616. And that's what you did. You gave it back. The ache, the questions, the ache of what ifs, all of it. You handed it over to the universe and said, "I'm done carrying this." That's courage. Not in loud decisions, but in silent release. In choosing your healing over your history. They may still think about you. They may still wonder if you've forgiven. But that's no longer your concern. Your soul's work was never about changing them, it was always about freeing yourself. Archangel Michael says, you're now walking in a new dimension of self-respect. You're not who you were when you first received that gift. And you'll never be that version again. Type Amen to get blessing 277. You're wiser now. You see red flags before they turn into regrets. You feel energy before words are spoken. You trust your intuition even when others don't understand your silence. This return taught you that not everything deserves your reaction. Some people come back to test your boundaries, not to rebuild anything sacred. And you passed the test. The gift may have been beautiful, but your growth is what made it priceless. Your tears became your cleansing. Your stillness became your power. Now you know, no one can take from you what you've already healed. Type Amen to get blessing 808. The next time they cross your mind, it won't be with a burning ache. It'll be a soft memory, a closed door, a page turned. You'll feel the love, but not the loss. Because you now love yourself deeper than they ever did. You may smile, not out of desire, but out of gratitude, for the lesson, for the awakening. For the mirror they held up that showed you the parts of yourself you had to reclaim. That gift brought it all full circle. The pain. The joy. The lesson. And now, the final blessing is yours. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. One day, long from now, someone else may ask about that gift. You'll run your fingers across it gently, smile, and say, it was returned to me, just so I could let it go. That's what healing looks like. Not forgetting, but releasing. Not pretending it didn't matter, but accepting it no longer controls you. You no longer wear the wound. You wear the wisdom. That's what separates you from the version of yourself that once waited for explanations. Now, you write your own piece. Type Amen to get blessing 303. The person who brought the gift back may carry their own storm. They may never say all the words. But your soul has heard what needed to be heard, and that's all that matters. Their return was not meant to stay. It was meant to remind you how far you've come. And to confirm, you are no longer in need of validation. You are already whole. You are already chosen. You are already loved, by the universe, by your angels, by the version of yourself who never gave up. Type Amen to get blessing 747. Tonight, you can rest knowing nothing was left unsaid. Even the silence had meaning. Even the pain had purpose. The gift that once symbolized confusion now represents your breakthrough. It has changed forms, from burden to blessing, from ache to answer. You did not just survive this return. You rose above it. That's a victory your spirit will celebrate for lifetimes. Archangel Michael says, your name is written in light. Your story will now inspire others to release what no longer serves them. Type Amen to get blessing 1555. The energy in your space feels different now. Lighter. Clearer. Because you finally made peace with the past that never said goodbye properly. You gave yourself the closure they couldn't. You offered yourself the love they withheld. You walked yourself through the fire, and came out glowing. This is the divine reward. This is the blessing wrapped in the pain. This is the arrival of the strength you didn't know you were cultivating. And now, child of destiny, nothing will ever break you the same way again. Type Amen to get blessing 411. The world around you hasn't changed, but you have. The old roads still stretch the same, the seasons still shift, but your heart no longer walks with a limp. Something has lifted, a burden that once made you question your strength now confirms it. You can look at the gift now without your chest tightening. It is no longer a weapon used against your peace. It's simply a symbol of what you endured, what you survived, and what you transcended. You don't owe anyone an explanation for how you handled the return. Whether you cried, smiled, stayed silent, or spoke your truth, that was your sacred path, written long before they arrived back at your door. The most beautiful part of this moment is not what came back to you, but what awakened within you. A new voice. A deeper self-trust. A version of you who refuses to shrink for anyone again. Type Amen to get blessing 818. The same people who once doubted your ability to move on will now see a glow they cannot deny. Because your healing cannot be hidden, it's in your eyes, your laughter, your silence. You are no longer the version of yourself who begs for answers. You no longer pick up pieces not meant for you to carry. You don't chase closure, you become it. That gift, though wrapped in the past, served your future. It pulled out the last emotional splinter, the one you didn't even know was still buried deep. And now, you're walking pain-free, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Archangel Michael says, this was heaven's final test, and you passed it in full surrender. Type Amen to get blessing 616. You will begin to notice little changes. The way you breathe. The way you sleep. The way you carry yourself into rooms, no longer hoping to be understood but already knowing who you are. People may think you've become colder, but you haven't. You've just become sacredly unavailable to energy that drains you. And that's what this return taught you. That even love from the past, even something once pure, can no longer enter your heart if it no longer matches your vibration. You now honor your peace like a temple. And not everyone deserves to walk barefoot through it. Type Amen to get blessing 474. You were not wrong for how deeply you loved. You were not weak for how long you waited. But you are wise now, for how bravely you let go. And this gift? It is no longer something they gave you. It is something you've reclaimed. They may have carried it back, but you gave it its new meaning. You may wrap it up now and place it where it belongs, not out of bitterness, but out of respect. Because some stories are not meant to continue, only to be completed. And this one, you've finally finished. Type Amen to get blessing 323. From here on, you will notice the universe shifting in your favor. Because energy responds to healed hearts. Doors will open that once felt permanently locked. Someone new may enter your life. Not to fix you, not to complete you, but to meet you in your fullness. Because now, your heart beats in freedom, not in fear. That person from the past, they were the lesson. But what's coming next is the reward. Because when you finally release what wounded you, the divine sends what will honor you. Archangel Michael says, your chapter of waiting is over. You are stepping into the blessings your spirit has earned. Type Amen to get blessing 500. The storm that came with that return has passed. And what's left is clarity. You don't see them the same. You don't see yourself the same. You see more clearly now. You're no longer the person who begged for someone to stay. You are the person who chooses who gets access to your soul. There is nothing more powerful than a heart that survived what tried to break it. And now, that's who you are, whole, unshaken, rebuilt from the deepest roots. No one can take that away. Not even the one who returned. Type Amen to get blessing 777. If tears still fall sometimes, let them. But let them fall like rain that waters your future, not floods it. You no longer cry from confusion, but from strength. This gift, though born from the past, has become your key to the future. Not because of what it was, but because of who you are now. You loved fully. You hurt deeply. And now you live wisely. That is your power. And from this day forward, you will never again settle for anything that doesn't match that power. Type Amen to get blessing 393. The chapter is complete. The circle is closed. What remains is your peace, and nothing is worth disturbing it again. This is your time. This is your season. This is your sign. You didn't just receive a gift. You became one. And now, you move forward, not as someone waiting for love to return, but as someone whose love has already returned to themselves. Type Amen to get blessing 1010.